Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Stern, it's good to see you again. Thanks for meeting with me.
Great to see you, ma'am.
And welcome to your family.
Thank you.
I know some of this conversation you already had with my colleagues, but I'm going to rehash some of it because particularly around housing and affordable housing, it is the #1 issue in my state. It is happening an issue for across the country, but in Nevada, this is something that we have been dealing with. We are a little bit unique in the sense that over 80% of our land's owned by the federal government. So we need support and work with the federal government to identify land where housing can be built, right? And that's where not only Department of Interior, but that's where HUD comes in, BLM and HUD working together. So I'll be looking at you to work with us there on those issues. But let me ask you this. I appreciate my colleague, Senator Kennedy's comments about federal funding. And if he wants to transfer federal funding to places where there's been effective use of it, he can send it to Nevada. There's more that needs to be done, but the federal financing is a key part of financing housing and affordable housing in Nevada. Let me just give you an example. We have the Patriot Place Apartments in Las Vegas. It is home to 50 formerly homeless veterans. And these homes were built thanks to HUD's Home Investment Partnerships Program and vouchers, among other programs. We have similar housing that's being built for our veterans, for our seniors, along with our working class, the men and women who are working a part of our key industries in Nevada. And so, unfortunately, for us, we've done all this great work. We need to continue it, but in the last Trump administration, Trump wanted to delay, cut, and eliminate HUD programs that build affordable housing. So my question to you is, would you support that position, even though we know the benefits it can provide for people in need?
Thank you, Senator Cortez Masto. It was great to meet with you and visit with you about your beloved state of Nevada. As we said before with your other colleagues here, you know, my goal, as I said before, is to look at all of the programs within HUD and see what is successful and what's not successful. And also, I will commit to you to having those conversations, if I'm allowed, in due time with the president and his team, and also you and Congress, to say, hey, these programs are really working and they're bringing results as it pertains to building affordable housing. I think as a leader, that's my job. To have those conversations and to take inventory and see, hey, these programs are successful. They're meeting the needs of the mission of HUD. And so I will work with you, if you will, and look further into that program to see how we can help our veterans and the homelessness need and the housing affordability need in your state.
Thank you. And do you have a position on just housing vouchers in general?
You know, I've been learning a lot about housing vouchers, and one thing I do know is that we need to make it less cumbersome and more efficient in the process and make it easier for landowners and landlords to work with us instead of putting a lot of bureaucracy and red tape and burden on them. And I'm continuing to look at that to see how we can ease and streamline that program at HUD.
I appreciate that. And you wouldn't know this, but under the previous Trump administration, they wanted to try to cut the number of vouchers. And so that doesn't benefit us. So I'm hopeful as you are looking at things and you're looking at efficient use of these dollars and vouchers, this is part of it, and you're going to be talking to the administration about it as well. Let me ask you this. This came up as well, I think, in our conversation about disaster relief. Starting in 2018, President Trump's Department of Housing and Urban Development withheld for 2 years congressionally approved disaster recovery and mitigation funds for Puerto Rico. And now he's suggesting doing the same thing for California. In 2021, the Inspector General found that HUD intentionally delayed sending Puerto Rico funds from the CDBG Disaster Recovery and Mitigation Programs Fund. And so my question to you is, if you are confirmed, will you promise not to stop or delay the disbursement of congressionally approved disaster recovery funds?
Thank you, Senator. And we all know the devastation that's going on in California right now and how it is devastating to families and communities. Also, Senator Tillis was talking about in North Carolina how CDBG-DR funds have not gotten out of the door. And so what I do commit to is when we look at this, fund, if confirmed by the committee, how do we get the resources out of the door to the families and communities that are in need so that they can rebuild? Because that's very important. That would be a top priority for me when it comes to disaster recovery funds that have been appropriated by Congress.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, you're welcome.